Good day, and welcome back to my channel.
I'm Skybridge.
I'm humbly honored by your support, and kindly be advised that I am accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. It is all because of you, thank you. Today I want us to look at Warrant Officer Makhubo, a seasoned detective in the South African Police Service, SAPS, with a career spanning more than 3 decades. Prior to his involvement in the Meyiwa case, he had built a reputation for securing convictions in politically sensitive and violent crime cases, including the notable prosecution of hitman Fisoku Lentuli, who was sentenced to 6 life terms for a series of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. His appointment to the Meyiwa case in 2018 came as part of efforts to inject new momentum into the long-stalled investigation. Makhubo was seen as a hawk's detective unafraid of tackling cases with sensitive issues or powerful suspects' role and actions in the Meyiwa investigation. The opening of the second docket, CAS 375-01-2019, upon joining the task team probing Meyiwa's murder, Makhubo soon identified troubling irregularities in the investigation, notably the mysterious removal of key witness statements from the primary police docket. His own assessment, based on cumulative evidence and fresh interviews, was that there existed enough evidence to implicate and charge the 7 individuals present in the Khumalo house at the time of the shooting. Motivated by these findings and concern over possible deliberate tampering, Makhubo, alongside Lieutenant Colonel Joyce Buthelezi, opened the so-called second docket, CAS 375-129. This controversial docket essentially reversed the predominant police narrative, rather than the murder being the work of armed strangers in a robbery gone wrong. The new docket posited that the assailant could have been among those inside the house, and recommended that Kelly Khumalo and others present be charged with murder and defeating the ends of justice. Baloyi and Gininda must be charged, allegedly. What do you think? Key points about the second docket drew upon cumulative interviews and evidence, disregarded or omitted from the first investigation, directly challenged the earlier focus and theory pursued by police and prosecutors, garnered internal saps and prosecutorial resistance. The case was not taken to court, despite Makubo presenting it to a receptive prosecutor, who deemed the evidence strong. These efforts to reopen the investigation along alternative lines placed Makhubo on a collision course with powerful institutional and political interests, exposing him to smear campaigns, professional reprisals, and severe personal risk. Malicious prosecution and acquittal, SS 7420. Following the opening of CAS
501-2019,
the SAPS and National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, notably failed to pursue the second docket or provide robust protection for its lead investigator. Instead, Makhubo found himself charged alongside others in the notorious Mabula Team case, Hillbrow CAS 988-617, charged with assault, torture, kidnapping, and extortion allegedly committed in 2006. These charges were seen as highly questionable, with most legal observers describing the prosecution as malicious and serving political, not legal, objectives. Key evidence for these charges, including a confession by witness RM, was proven to be fabricated, with the witness later recanting and exposing a scheme to induce false allegations in exchange for monetary reward. Ultimately, in August 2023, the High Court acquitted Makubo and fellow accused, citing a complete lack of evidence. This drawn-out case exerted immense professional and personal pressure but did not prevent Makhubo from continuing to advocate for a renewed investigation into those present at the Meyiwa crime scene, investigator safety, threats and intimidation. As the public narrative around the Meyiwa case shifted, partly due to sustained advocacy by the Meyiwa family and anti-crime activists, the danger faced by Makhubo and other whistleblowers increased. Multiple attempts were made on his life. In January 2025, heavily armed attackers stormed Makhubo's home, his son narrowly escaping harm in what was described as a clear attempted assassination. They are trying hard to eliminate him for standing for the truth. In May 2025, Makhubo, now classified as a former investigator on the Meyiwa case, survived an attempted armed kidnapping and robbery in Lombardy East, Johannesburg, during which state-issued police equipment and documentation were stolen. There have been at least half a dozen other mysterious deaths or attacks on people linked to or critical of the current legal case, fueling claims of a high-level cover-up and significant internal threats emanating from within SAPS itself. Police top brass have publicly stated that all critical evidence, original dockets, and registers have been secured, and the loss of any such material during these intimidation attempts will have no impact on the proceedings, testimony, and legal statements related to his involvement. Makhubo has repeatedly testified in court, not only as a victim of malicious prosecution, but also as an expert witness in hearings regarding the admissibility of confessions in the latest Meyiwa criminal trial. His involvement has spotlighted the deep organizational rifts within SAPS, with judges and prosecutors questioning the leadership and decision-making processes inside the investigative teams. At one stage, more than 40 investigators were reportedly assigned to the Meyiwa case, but internal divisions meant no single person was ever appointed as a lead investigator. This, Makhubo testified, resulted in a split between teams, supporting the robbery theory and those, including himself and Constable Buthelezi, who believed in a domestic origin of the shooting. Makhubo also disclosed in court that of dockets and referral for prosecution were routinely subject to override by senior political and prosecutorial figures, specifically Gauteng DPP Andrew Chalky and then SAPS National Commissioner Kehla Sitole. Impact and public statements from legal authorities. The second docket compiled by Makhubo never saw courtroom prosecution. The NPA's official position is that a decision on this docket will be taken only after the conclusion of the current trial. Multiple public statements by senior prosecutors indicate that internal disagreement within the NPA and accusations of improper political interference, especially attributed to DPP Chalk, who as of July 2025 is himself suspended and under investigation for alleged prosecutorial failures, have fatally compromised the pursuit of alternative narratives in the case. Makhubo's trajectory reflects an alarming institutional trend. Competent and independent officers who challenge official narratives, especially where political implications exist, become marginal, persecuted, and, in the worst cases, targeted for violence. Makhubo stands as a symbol of investigative integrity, met by institutional retaliation, his safety a bellwether for the risks faced by those challenging criminal and political impunity. Key takeaways: Makhubo is direct, principled investigator, marginalized through malicious prosecution, remains at personal risk due to findings that challenged official narratives, especially the alternative second docket, which implicates powerful parties present at the Meyiwa crime scene. What can you say about Makhubo compared to Shadrach Sibia? Should docket 375 be introduced in the Senzo Meyiwa trial? We are all in pursuit of justice for Meyiwa. It is very disappointing to watch the trial full of fabrication and cover-ups. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Kindly like the video, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload. Bye.